Okay, so we have spoken about fundraising. We have spoken about a lot about the startup ecosystem. So this is the fun part and the end part of the end part in 15-20 minutes. If you 15-20 minutes of the entire presentation. So well, briefly in bits and pieces, I spoke something a bit about who I am, what I have done. So it is. Let me tell you who I am and why I am. Have the opportunity to discuss about fundraising or discuss about the business plan or discuss about the idea validation with everybody else. So in past, I have raised two successful startup in the past, and I failed with a couple of them. I think there were like three, four startups on which we failed. We worked for somewhere 1 year, 1.5 years, and after that they failed. But were able to raise two successful startup, out of which I got an exit from one startup, which was really good and which was like really got me good money. And after that, I just took out from the get out from the startup ecosystem. But some 2 years back, 2.5 years back, 3 years back, basically, I came back to the startup ecosystem because once an entrepreneurs will always remain an entrepreneur. So it was like a really painful days for me when I was not in the startup ecosystem. So this is me and two successful startup, one exit, couple of failed startups. So this is me. And when we talk about the into details, I from being there, from being distributing pamphlets at different places to taking interviews and writing my own codes. I have done everything into a startup ecosystem. So this is what gives me authority to talk about different aspect of the startup sector, and this is what helped me to get in contact with a lot of investors. I have also invested into some startups. There are 4 5 startups in which I have invested. So out of 5, 3 are like almost dead, but one startup is like really giving good revenue and the valuation. When I started invested, I invested somewhere around 10 lakh rupees into it, and right now the valuation, my valuation is somewhere around 1 CR into it. So 10x return, which is like good for me. So I raise startup. I work into the startup ecosystem in the capacity of mentor, advisor, consultant, investor, jury member, uh, completely into strategic roles. So this is what I do. Uh, I am part of the UNDP, that is United Nations Development Programs, and NITI Aayog. Startup, their startup, what you say, the startup department that they have started. So I was one of the core team members of that. I am sitting somewhere here. I really did terrible when I am into suit. So there was an event into United Nations where we were there, and this is what we there was a pitch session, and there they were granted somewhere around 10 lakh rupees to each startup. So these startups were into social entrepreneur. These startups are completely social entrepreneurs, and they were granted 10 lakh rupees. The winners were granted 10 lakh rupees. Then it was a grant, it was not an investment. Apart from that, they also uh, uh, the uh, the startups which are into research. The person from the National Research Institute was also here, so he also committed some amount to them. So these are the places where I go, like NITI, UNDP, NITI Aayog. Okay, so I was the chair of the. You might heard that last year Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and the owner of Amazon, was into India. So I was the chair of their jury member who selected all the winners of the Amazon Samba Awards, whom Jeff Bezos himself gave the awards. So I was the chair of the jury member. So this is how generally how you look. I am the most casual person out there. These are like the who's of the startup ecosystem. The person who is these two are the angel investors, and rest are from the startup ecosystem only. Uh, this is another panel meeting. I think I was moderating a VC meeting out here. So this is another where I am pleased. This is the Angel Network of Ludhiana. So I am also part of them. I invest money through them. The person standing here, if you can see the pointer, he was the person who got 330x return from the Oyo room. So he was the person who Anirudh Dhamani, who invested 8 crore rupees into it and got 2,800 crores out of it. So these are people from the startup ecosystem. And these are people from the investment network of the Ludhiana, the Angel Network Ludhiana. So we had our investors meet there. So this is from there only. This is the video. I can't run the video, but this is my first startup which I sold and took the exit, and here I made a lot of money out of it, and this was covered by NDTV, and this is something I really feel proud about talking about. This is the incubation portfolio of startup of my right now. So right now I am having 3 startup into my incubation program. One is the Small Paw. You already saw their pitch deck yesterday. One is the Scale Project, and one is the Mechanic Link. So Mechanic Link is an edtech company for the engineers. So they create engineering courses. So this is my portfolio as of now. Okay, and this is the fun part, what I do when I am not working and I am not into the startup ecosystem. So I travel a lot. So this is somewhere into the Himalayas. I am trekking. This is, I think, Goa. So I travel. So almost like 3 to 4 months in every year I travel, and I travel. It's like a really long time. I backpack. I just pick up my bag and just go out on travel. This is somewhere in Manali, I guess. This is the road trip that I took all across India. So this bike thing is from that. So I rode from Ladakh to Kanyakumari in a week's time, so something like that. This is Mauritius, I guess. This is also Mauritius. This is Nepal, the cycling. So this is what I do. So I work into startup ecosystem, and then I enjoy my life out there. So this is something which I have earned over working for like 10 years into the startup ecosystem. That is also somewhere around 18 hours a day. So this is how things are. And now I will like to make a pitch in front of you that will be about the startup school and the courses. It is not going to take more than 5 minutes, I guess, and then we can go back to if we have any questions, because yes, there are 3 questions, so we will go back to questions after that. So we have master classes. We have divided the entire startup school into 4 parts. So first is the first is the workshop, which is like the entry level. Anybody who doesn't understand about anything about startup ecosystem, they come into the workshop. After workshop, we have master classes, which are like quite exhaustive. So what we just concluded now today, it is the workshop where we discuss a bit about the startup ecosystem and how things happen into startup ecosystem. Then the next stage is like the master classes, where we go deep down into each and every domain, how things work. We discussed in this workshop, we discuss about how to raise fund from the angel investor onto the equity basis. There are bootstrapping also. It is like debt funding also. Then there are convertible notes also. So these things will go into the master class, which is like quite exhaustive, and I think it is somewhere around 18 hours to 20 hours of recorded videos. Then Investor Connect will be there, where we will be arranging a session with the investors, where you can talk to them, we can ask them, we can even if they are ready to provide their email, if they find your ideas good, they can also ask for their email addresses and that. So this is part of the masterclass. The Investor Connect is there. Then one-on-one sessions with me also, and the other industry expert from on mentorship part is also there into the masterclass. So masterclass is something which is quite exhaustive and deep dive into the domains on which we are talking about. Then there is boot camp. So the startup school boot camp. It is something like raising a startup from 0 to 1. So we will be working with you. So you just came up with an idea, so we will be working with you, and where we will where we will first validate your idea, whether it is a good idea or not, and then we'll take it one step. First we'll work on your idea. If it is validated or it made any changes, we will work with you on that. We'll make the changes. Then we will move to the second stage, that is creating the business plan. Then we will move to the third stage, that is the creating a financial model and creating the legal identity. Then the last stage is the execution stage, and then we'll go into the fundraising. So this is boot camp. It is like complete boot camp is complete from 0 to 1. We will be bringing your startup from 0 to 1. So it is boot camp, and it is also recorded video. And apart from that, a lot of in-person sessions are there and all. So this is what startup school boot camp. And the last part is like our incubation program. As right now we are not running our accelerator program, we need to close it due to the COVID thing. So incubation program is there. So already, so anytime we take somewhere around 5 startup into our incubation program. Right now we are having 3 startups because due to COVID, a lot of startups which were planned to come with us has just stepped back. So right now we are having 3 startup into our portfolio. So for incubation program, we generally look for startups which are at an early revenue stage, or at a, if not early revenue stage, they have a good market potential, and they have good market potential, and they can be really accelerated when came with us. So we take those startup into our incubation program. We help them to streamline their execution. We help them to streamline everything: their contracts, their documentation, their founders, co-founder equity. Then comes the so take an example, McLelink, which is one of our portfolio. So now when I onboarded that startup into my portfolio. So they have five different partners, and every partner was having 20% stake into the company. So when it came to cap table, which is like capitalization table, the investors saw it as a deterrent to enter into contact with them, because the 4 of the partners who had 20% stakes, they were like the sleeping partners. So we created a model where the founders spoke to all the co-founders, and out of those 4 co-founders, 3 of the co-founders are ready to sell their 60% of stake at a really nominal amount. So what we have done now, the founder is having 80% of the stake, and the one co-founder who refused to sell is having the 20% stake. So this is how we streamline the things, like the founder co-founder equity thing. Then if there is a requirement of a team, we create the roadmap for the coming 1 year, then which all team members will be required, how you need to go, how to allocate the funds that you are currently having, and how to go for the fundraising for the next level, creating the cap table, then creating the financial model, and then how to accelerate, which all creating the marketing plan and all. So this is what we do into our incubation program, and this is how how we make sure that the startup which comes under us at least be at a 10x place when they are leaving us. So this is what we do into the acceleration, and we are more into business and strategy part of the incubation incubation program, rather than developing the product. So you need to understand this, as already mentioned during the Q&As. Okay, so we are coming up with we are revamping the master classes. So it will be more like a launch. So we have and it will be like, I can confirm you that it will be 10x of these sessions that we have. So we have a discount. We have just started with a 30% discount on it, and the people who are attending this session can avail it. I will share the PPT, which have all the links, and you can go there, you can check it, and you can we can also give you the coupon code. Just use there. You are going to get 30% discount over. You all are going to get 30% discount for it. There are people who are into this workshop also, who have done the separate workshop. So you can connect with them also. They have paid the complete amount for it, but we are opening it for on 30% discount for till tonight. That will be 000 hours. On 30%. The coupon code is going to work for the till 30 for 30%. There will be some launch dates which are there. So you just go and check out the launch dates, and we are coming up with some brilliant courses, and it is really going to help you out with your startup. So these are the master classes. There are 3 master classes. Fundraising is there. Okay, I think I just decode. Fundraising is there. The business plan master class is there. Then there is the idea validation master class, which is like really important. People generally miss the they just think of an idea and they think that their idea is complete. It is not like that. You need to work on an idea to make it a perfect. Idea are never perfect from the first time they come into your mind, or the first time you see a consumer problem. So masterclass of idea validation is really important, because if you have moved to second and third stage without validating your idea, that means that your foundation is really weak, and it can collapse any day. So I always ask. So idea validation is the first workshop that I have started with, because 95% of time startups fail after 1.5 years because they haven't validated their idea at the first point of time. So it is really important. And some of the people who are here, I think Nimesh is here, who has attended my idea validation workshop also. So this is something which I really ask people to do before going to business, preparing the business plan, because preparing a business plan is going to take you 1 month of time. Minimum it is going to take you 1 month of time. So you need to uh, work on that also. You need to work first on your business idea validation, then you need to move on the other part. And then we have workshop. There are like one we are already having, the basic of fundraising and pitch deck. Apart from that, we have workshop on idea validation, business plan, and legal structure and financial modeling. The links are there. I will be sharing the PPT with this, and then we will be sharing the docket. The magic word, the coupon code. So the coupon code for this is FRPDB30. So this is financial fundraising and pitch deck batch 1. 30 will be 30% discount. So this is the coupon code. I will be sharing it with you. We will be sharing the link. You can just go there, you can check, and you can just book the courses. The coupon code is active till 12 till midnight only. That will be 0000. After that, it will be you have to pay 100% if you want to do the courses again. So this is what it is. And okay, now let's talk about some tips and tricks. So when you are reaching out to investor, so it has been researched and it has found out that minimum after 3 follow-ups you are going to get a response from the investors. After almost 3 follow-ups, they see your pitch deck. So you need to be that persistent. And it is not like that you have mailed them a pitch deck and you are going to just drop a mail in the evening again. The TAT for follow-up is like turnaround time for follow-up is generally 48 hours. So you mailed them today, they haven't responded till Sunday, then you are going to mail it on Monday again. So keep a gap of somewhere around 48 hours, and then mail them again. Just write a courteous mail like, okay, did you get a chance to go through the pitch deck? Looking forward for your response. After third, it is had been researched and studied that after third follow-up, the investors see the pitch deck. So just shooting it at once and just leaving it as it is not going to work. At times, try to find out. If possible, if you have the number of their office manager, or if you have the number of their office, you say number of the investor, just also try to check with them over a text or so over a LinkedIn that have you received it, because at times it falls into the spam folder. As the files are heavy, they throw it into the spam folder. So do this. Minimum 3 follow-up. Follow-up can be on text also. Follow-up can be on LinkedIn also. Follow-up can be on social media also. Or follow-up can be if you are sending to an investor who knows one of your friends, you can follow up with that friend also to ask them to connect to that investor, or just ask that investor about that. So this is one of the tip and tricks. Be ready with your elevator pitch. I always say be ready with your elevator pitch. You will never know when you are going to find investors. I know somebody, one of the startup which found their investor when they put their kiosk into an exhibition. So we in Delhi, we have our uh, uh, international expo. I think some expo is there. Okay, so the Vyapar Mela, they call it in India. I don't know what they call it in India. Trade fair. Yeah. So they were having their kiosk into the trade fair, and an investor was just walking through it. He looked at the kiosk and the displays, and he just came up and asked, and they identify that the person is an investor by seeing his card. So they were ready with the investors pitch. They pitched it then and there. The investor asked them to come and meet. The very next day they came with their entire pitch deck the very next day, and they were able to get the funding in the coming 2 days after the due diligence and the paperwork and all. So this is what I always ask everybody to be ready with your investor pitch. You never know if you are pitching at a event. Suppose that you are pitching at Eureka IIT Bombay, you are unable to get any prize, but there will be investors with whom you will have going to have a networking session. You are going to have lunch. At that point of time, go and talk to these people and uh, go with the investor pitch. I know somebody. I'm not sure whether you have heard the name of Sattus. Sattu is a brand which is quite popular in the eastern part of the India. So Sattus is a brand where they are bringing out with varieties of Sattu. So they have created it, and the person who created his name is Sachin. I know him personally because he belongs from the same background. So I personally know him. Uh, there was an investor pitch where he pitched, but he was unable to get any fund there. So after the pitch, they were having a networking lunch. Digvijay Singh, the CEO of Indian Angel Network, he was sitting there and having his lunch. I was sitting on the other table. I was sitting with some other investors, and we were having. That guy just took his plate, went to the table where Digvijay was sitting and having his lunch, and he started pitching. He pitched him with the elevator pitch, and Digvijay just saw him while eating and asked, "Kitna chahiye? How much do you want?" So he asked for 50 lakh at that point of time. Digvijay told him that right now I am having 25 lakh only, 30 lakh only. If you want, tell me, come to my office and collect it. So this is how easily he raised money from a startup after even getting rejected from the formal pitch event. He got the investment on the lunch table. So this is how investor pitches work. There is I mailed you something. If you are unable to get it in your inbox, go and check the spam message. I mailed you a brief about how investor pitches are made. So it is a two-liner thing. I think today's mail only you will be going to find it. Just go and see it and prepare your investor pitch accordingly. Decide if you want to sell metrics or okay, it is another thing. You need to work out what you are going to sell to these investors. Are you going to sell them a big vision, because or are you going to sell them matrices? When we talk about matrices and big vision, when Paytm was raising his fund, he was selling a big vision. We are Paytm, the Vijay Sekhar always used to say to their investors that he is the person who is going to make India cashless. He will be converting India into the converting Indian economy to a digital economy. So he always used to sell that this vision of a digital economy, a better future, a cashless future, and all. When it comes to metrics, when the founder of Oyo Room, Ritesh Agarwal, used to pitch, he always used to pitch with number of hotels that he are having, number of people who used his services, the revenue that he have generated from these services. He always worked on the matrices, and Vijay Sekhar always worked on the big vision. So you need to first identify what type of pitch deck you are going to prepare. Are you going to pitch them to investor on matrices, or are you going to pitch this investor on a bigger vision? So you need to first identify and then go accordingly with your elevator pitch, with your final pitch. These are the 3 tips. We have prepared some 20 to 25 tips and tricks which need to go to the investors. But for now and for this workshop kind of thing, it is like 3 pitch which are like the best thing tips that you can have, and you can further take it up. Okay, so now there might be some questions, I believe. Presenters mode. Okay. Okay. I just clicked on the first. Can you see the screen? I guess you are seeing. Okay. Somebody asked, is registration really important for raising the fund? Registration as private limited company is important for raising fund. If you have registered under propriety or LLP or partnership, you are not getting to get fund. As simple as that. You need to get it registered under private limited company for India. So it is really important. Okay. Can you see the screen now? Okay, so the first question was, I already answered, you need to get it registered. That also private limited company. Yeah, if it is LLP, if it is proprietary, if it is partnership, you are not getting to get any money. Investors only invest into private limited company. Do you do mentorship for first time founders? If yes, what are the things you see to mentor? Do you do mentoring for first time? Yes, I mentor first time finder. That is like my core skill set. I because when I started, I knew nothing about raising a startup or how to run a company. So I know what all problem you first time founder or early stage entrepreneurs face. So this is my core skills, and this is what I like, because when it is a first time founders, you can also scold them a lot, scold them a bit, and ask them to come to focus more on the product. So yes, I mentor first time founder. If yes, what are the things you see to mentor? uh, Basically, you need to have a validated idea and a business plan. If even not business plan, I generally look for a validated idea, and that validated idea should be as per my validation matrix is not as because you just thought that this idea is going to work, it is going to work. You need to have a validated idea. And and for incubation program, you need to have some good some early revenue will do really good, otherwise some good traction will also work. So this is how we take assignments. uh, is there any success result cases? Who did the master class? We are launching master class again. So there is, I don't understand what you mean by the success result cases, because we already have 3 startups into our portfolio, and success result in startup ecosystem. And when I am telling it as an investor in startup ecosystem. Sustainability and success rate is a myth. Uh, take an example of Snapdeal. Take an example of SoapScrew. There are a lot of examples out there. Even unicorn companies can go bankrupt within 6 months time. So success result cases and sustainability, you are talking on completely different tangent. What these courses are, you are free to go and attend the upgrade courses also, which is somewhere around 85,000 plus taxes, and they are only 40-hour classes, 40-hour recorded classes, and they are selling well. And this is what we did master class, and everything whatever we have created, it has been created by using the real entrepreneurs which are struggling and which are facing the problem, considering their problem and everything. We have created the program. So it is quite exhaustive. And as already mentioned, success result and sustainability is completely a myth. It is a mythological character into a startup ecosystem. When are they recorded? So for this workshop, the recorded videos will be uploaded most probably by tomorrow evening. For all the thing that we have discussed, I am unable to do it because the editor who is working on it, he got ill, and he is unable to he was ill, and he was unable to take it further. So in that scenario, I am unable to upload it. As soon as he will be back, all the videos has been recorded. It only need to get edited and uploaded. So most probably the moment it will go live, we will share the text into the WhatsApp group. You will be there into WhatsApp group for another week. And if you want, you can continue also, because we conduct a lot of sessions like podcasts with entrepreneurs, panel discussion with investors, and these are like free session for the people who are alumnus of startup school. So you can join them free. So from time to time, every month we have somewhere around 2 or 3 such events. So you can always attend them. They are always like a source of good knowledge, and it will only help you. So be there. At least we are not going to spam you. And if you want, we can move you to the another alumnus group, and we can take it further there. Can we validate from competitors customer statistics in Airbnb market validation numbers for from companies? No. Okay. So when you are talking about market validation numbers were from, they were talking about the market size there. You need to understand there because the numbers which they so there were of crowd surfing, which is like completely different model, and then there were Craigslist, which was again completely different model. Craigslist is like Quicker or OLX of USA. So you need to understand they have completely different business models. So you can't consider them competitors with the Airbnb. They took the numbers because that was the nearest indirect competition to them. So as I mentioned during the sessions also, that there will be some indirect competition, because being a startup by definition you need to be innovative. If you are innovative, then there will be indirect competition rather than direct competition. So they were the like indirect competition of Airbnb, and the numbers which were presented, because Airbnb worked on the blue ocean strategy. And when you are talking about blue ocean strategy, it means that such kind of services is not into the market. So you are creating a completely new category. In that case, you can't bring in the competitors. Competitors statistics. It is only the indirect competition you can bring. Okay, are you going to discuss some important key terms which you should know before presenting in front of the? I think this session is done because it's almost like 2 hours since I am speaking. We have a I think we have a PDF on which all the terms are there. I think it will be better that we can share it with you rather than speaking, because 2 hours now my throat is like really hurting as of now. There must be many competition in product. What are the group and advancement? Okay, so if you are talking about investors, they look for the they look for the they look for the defensibility, that the entry barrier. They look for the scalability, and they look for the repeated customer. These are the three things investors look when they are talking about a product. How a product should be, that will be more like a product should be have a scalability pattern. It should have a defensibility that nobody can easily replicate it, and that is the entry barrier. And third will be the repeated customer for that product. So this is the product part. Apart from that, the entire ecosystem, market sizing and competing landscape, and even the industry analysis and the environment, which all also come into it. I intentionally left it because when I went through the entire term sheet part of thing, it is somewhere around 3 hours of 3 to 4 hours of discussion when it comes to term sheet, because there are clauses into term sheet. There will be terms like liquidation preference. There will be terms like drag along. There will be terms like tag along. So for these terms, you will be required for one single term you will be required 10 to 15 minutes. So if we start covering the term sheet, it is going to be something around 3 hours. It is part of the master class. You can go there, and you can, if you wish, you can just go there and enroll for that, and you will find that there. And it is a quite hectic, quite exhaustive thing, because it is something on which you will be getting the investment and signing on. It is like the contract that you will be signing on, term sheet. So you need to be like really you need to understand the things of the term sheet. Just go, please give tips on founder to cold mail, sir. You need to. Okay, I will do one thing. If you are into our mailing system, I will try to send some mailer which are like which you can send it across to the investors, because yeah, it is something I think we should also put into the market class also, that cold mailing, how to reach out to. Okay, so I will. As of now, I am not having, because though I might be have received a lot of mails like such, but I am not sure they are appropriate or not. So as of now, I am not having. But yes, I will. It is something which need to be put into the put it as one of the videos into the master class. It is a good problem to the first time founders are having. Do you think that we need experienced team? Can you build a team with interns and entry level? Okay, the only problem with interns are they don't work. They work like they are always ready to go to some other company and work. They interns only work for fun. So the thing is that. So if you are getting some serious interns, that is good. If you are not getting some serious interns, go for the experienced team. That is always advisable from my side, because I have worked with a lot of college students, and there are some people who started working with me as a college student, had graduated into a full-time staff member with employee like Ayush, which is coordinating the entire session today, Ayush Sharma. And I would like you all to thank to him, because he did a lot of work on coordinating the entire session. So he started as an intern with Startup Monk. Now he is a operation associate with us. So and with him, I think there were like 10 more people have interns had joined, but less 9 were like useless. So we just chucked them out, and we kept going out with our IUs. So you need, if you can find good interns, then serious interns. Uh, mm, uh, when I talk about hiring interns, I only look for three things. One is the sincerity, one is the second is the attitude, and the third is the hunger for knowledge. Because what we say into startup ecosystem, यार काम तो गधे से भी करवा लेंगे, but we need some people with the attitude. So that person need to be sincere, that person need to be hardworking, that person need to have an attitude to learn more. So if you can find interns like that, you can always get them, make them, just not only bring them as intern, but try to convert them into full-time staff member also. Else get an experienced team, because screwing a startup at the initial stage will be like really bad for your future. Software architect and dev lead will be experienced, but other developers and marketing and research people can be interns. Marketing is something which an intern can't do. If you think that a marketing can be done by an intern, it is like a really foolish thought of you. Marketing is something for which you need somebody, a person who is psychologically mature, because that person need to understand the psychology of the customer segment and the market. So people think that okay, marketing interns is just like posting onto social media and then developing and shooting mailers and creating posters and all. It is not that. Marketing is much more than that. You need to understand the psychology of the customer who will be using. Why they? To take an example, White Hat Junior, the marketing team of White Hat Junior is targeting the parents, because they know that parents are the people who are going to pay for these, pay for their child's bright future. So my marketing people generally play with the psychology of the people, so they need to be a bit experienced. This is why when I talk about the core team member, the five domains, marketing was one of them, because that when you are starting, marketing is the something which is going to create the entire perception of your startup or the company into the eyes of the others. What is your long term goal? Okay, so my long term goal is that I am going to democratize the entire startup ecosystem of India. People say that I am trying to be the Y Combinator of India, but I am not trying to be YC. I am trying to democratize the entire startup ecosystem of India. I am going to remove all the doorkeepers of startup ecosystem, from whom you need to take permission to enter the startup ecosystem. This is my long-term goal. It sounds a bit weird because there is no metrics out of it, how to do it and when to do it. This is what vision is all about. This is what you say Steve Jobs said that when he said that he wanted to make the world beautiful place. How he wanted to do it, that is through his product. So I also have something into like how I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it through my courses, which are like more created by for the entrepreneurs in the language in which the entrepreneurs are going to understand it, rather than creating like your story, which is just like the clippings of the interview, and there people are going mad after that, or the upgrade, which is charging like ₹1 lakh for a 40-hour program, which is just like another recorded interviews of entrepreneurs. So it is like just catching on the insecurity of the first-time founder and entrepreneurs, because they don't know how to move forward. So my long-term goal is completely like democratizing the entire ecosystem of India. So this is what I am after, and I uh, not immediately, but surely I'm going to achieve that. Can I be able to find a business team through your network? Business team as in what? Business team depends a lot. Are you going to look for the co-founders? Are you going to look for the business team as advisors or mentors or all? If you're going to look for co-founders, we can assist you into that because we have our own network. But it depends a lot because nobody is going to it depends a lot on the terms that you'll be bringing on the uh, it depends a lot it depends a lot on the terms that you are going to bring for the business team. But if your terms are good, like we can help you with that because we have our own network, and this is one of the good thing which this is one of the reason that I get a lot of incubation uh, startups reaching out to me for the incubation because I have my own network of investors, first time founder, service provider, and all, and I can use that. So this is something which I have developed over a period of years, offline as well as online. So yes, we can help you with the business team, but we need to understand what kind of business team you require, and what are the terms that you are open to do that. And how to confirm that our idea has a proper validation? You need to validate it. It is completely, if you validate your idea, it will be on paper. You can say it. One of the method to do it is like go and do an A/B testing on A/B testing on Facebook. Create two solutions for your idea, the two consumer problem, and try to validate it which problem is going to fetch more like or more same on Facebook. Run a Facebook ad for somewhere around 2,000 rupees and do an A/B testing. So it is also one of the process of validating an idea. Then there is idea validation. Uh, you need to understand the customer competitive landscape. You need to analyze the industry in which you are entering and all. This is how idea is validated. It is a long process. There are a lot of moving parts into idea validation. Finding the ideal customer or user use cases will be there. Then getting the uh, market sizing will be there. Then there will be industry analysis will be there. Then understanding of demography will be there. So a lot of things there into the idea validated. It is just not like that you did a market research with 500 random samples and they have said that okay, we are going to purchase a product. That is not idea validation. That is completely fucked up idea of idea validation. So there you need to learn more about idea validation, how it is done, and you need to go with it. In food sector, we add on outlet. We add on outlets. In initial period, percentage increase is very high, but later on stage, as outlet number increases, percentage was decline. How to validate it? Okay, the percentage growth. Every industry, every product has a limit. What we call a saturation point. I don't know whether you have understand the beachhead. Uh, graph of the users. So there will be innovator users which will be like they will try anything which comes into the market. So they are like the innovation users. So for a food outlet also there will be people who will be like, okay, kuch naya aaya hai, let's go and eat there. So there will be there. Then the second are like the early adopters, which will be with the beachhead curves was like this till the middle. These are the people who will be like the early adapters, and they will like to adapt something new which is going to come into the market. So this is the stage where the scalability increases. Early adapter, then early users. Then there will be the late users and the laggards. So when you will release at the peak, after that the growth will decline. So this is how the industry works. But you need to understand what is the duration of that decrease or increase of the industry. You need to get hold of that. So it is common in every industry. It is not only for restaurant and food sector. It will be into tech also. So after reaching to a point which is like the late user, it is going to decline. The growth is going to decline. This is how industry works. That's why these people come up with so much of new features. If you are entering into food sector, you need to come out with the new menu cards, and then you need to come out with new varieties and design. Then only you are going to survive the beachhead curve. Yes, there are. To take an example, Skill Prodigy is a successful. They are running a profitable startup. They are now looking for funding. The Small Paw, which is getting launched on, uh, which is getting launched on 25th of this month. Whose pitch deck I have said yesterday. We already got a soft commitment from Oran Ventures. And then the third one, the Mechanic, because he doesn't want to go into investment as of now. He wanted to build his startup into a more bootstrap way, into a more organic way. So they are like profit making. So these are the current three students or startups which I have into my incubation program. So are doing good. Apart from that, there are like the FamPay. I consulted initially FamPay on their for their venture, and they got incubated into YC. Y Combinator. So there are a lot of startups. Even Melvano, the founder of Melvano, from time to time he reaches out to me for consultants. So there will be a long list about, because I think I should start publishing those lists also, if that is a metric that students look for. But there is a long list. And in past I have worked. I generally don't upload all these things into my LinkedIn profile, but there are a lot of startups with which I am work, and they are profitable, and some are even raised funds. So there are like yourself, the story. If you have heard, they have an acquisition last month. So Sunny Gargi was like a really good friend of mine, and we used to talk a lot about raising startups and how he should work on this startup, where he is going wrong and all. So we did, and he raised his startup. He just got acquired for 55 CR. So these are some of the example. But if you want to quantify it, I have to do some what to do some sitting and recalling everything and writing up. So this is how. Okay, guys, I think we are done. All the questions are done. And thank you for, at least there are 9 more people apart from me and I who are sitting there and hearing to me. So thank you for sitting there. I am just going to